Alright boys and girls, so welcome back to a brand new video. Now, you've already probably seen the title, what we're doing. I've got a spare set of ST door cards here. I got them off of eBay for, in my eyes, quite a good deal. I got it for £35 I think it was. So basically, I got a spare set of door cards because I'm going to be doing it for quite a while, doing a few little modifications to them, and if I'd done it to my own door cards, I'd be either without door cards for ages because I'm not in a rush to do this. It just seemed a little bit easier to have a spare set so I can do it out of the car, didn't have to rush to get them back in. I also then wouldn't be without door cards for ages. So basically the plan for these is to paint the door handle, which is just here. I've already removed that, that's in the garden, I've made a start on that. I want to retrim this fabric here. I went to Hobbycraft the other day and got this like black suede fabric. Do quite a bit of retrimming on the interior with this fabric because it is quite a nice fabric, and I just think like the black will kind of go a lot better instead of this kind of, it's kind of a dark grey kind of material. Another thing which I'm doing with these door cards is, where is it? Here I have some purple LEDs, and basically all they are is a little, if I just focus on that, they're just like a little purple LED. So what I'm going to be doing is also drilling in the bottom of this door card, put a few in there, but you can see on my hand it's purple. I think that will look quite cool. I'll wire them up to the interior light. So I'll probably put like 4 or 5 along the bottom of the door card, so when I open the door there'll be like a purple kind of puddle light, if that's what you call it. I will also be painting this as well. So we've got that to paint, we've got the door handle to paint, which I'm already doing in the garden. I made a start on that a little while ago, haven't really got too far with that though. As you can see, there's kind of like these little circle bits. So I think what we've got to do is basically kind of not drill these out, but take the heads off of these circles, and then we should be able to pull this out, because underneath it there's this kind of foam bit, and then on the back of that foam is the material, the kind of grey dark material which is on the front of the door card. So we've got to remove that, and then we're going to stick on our nice new piece of fabric. And to do that, I've heard that so many people have recommended this, which is Trim Fix, I believe it's called. Trim Fix adhesive. So it's a high temperature adhesive spray, high heat resistance adhesive designed for fixing vehicle interior trims, headlinings and carpets, fabric and leather seats. So it's perfect for what I need. So yeah, I think I've explained what I want to achieve with these door cards. So now I think what we need to do is we're going to start on removing these little circle kind of rivet kind of things, to then pull this out from the back, have a look at the fabric and see if we should take off the old fabric or just lay the new kind of suede material over the top of it. Right, so I've just got a little Stanley blade and I'm just literally getting behind and just cutting it off. It might take a little while. Like that one's now come off, and you can see that it now wants to kind of pull away. So I'm sure if I just get a few more of these off, I'll be able to show you a little bit better. Just want to be careful, don't catch your hands or anything. Right, so you can see that's a lot looser already, and I've just, like, it's moving a lot more than what it would like down here. Like, it doesn't move at all down here. So yeah, this is definitely working. There we go, so the bottom pretty much done. It's a lot looser than what it was. Now this whole side is a lot more looser. I've done up to here, so I've only got this kind of short corner left here to do. But yeah, we're getting somewhere, boys. And there we go, guys. That is all out now. Right then, guys, so it's actually a couple of days later. The weekend's just been, it's now Monday. I'm off today and then I'm back to work tomorrow. So we didn't do anything over the weekend, but I'm now back. I think what we done last time, we just took out them bits from the door card, these bits. So basically what I've done, I ripped off the fabric bit off the top of this wooden thing. And I've just given it a go of sticking down the new fabric, which has gone pretty well in my opinion. Like, I don't know how well you'll be able to see it because it's like black fabric and it's a bit dark in the garage, but it's gone on nice and smoothly. I'm just letting it set and harden a little bit. I don't know if you need to do that or whatever, but I'll leave it for a little bit and then I'll just trim around the edges just to make it a bit neater. So I wanted to just practice and get a good idea of how to do it before I started filming it. So we've done that one, now we'll go on to the next one, but this stuff is pretty decent in my opinion. Trim Fix adhesive. Literally just spray on a load of this stuff, leave it for about a minute or two until it goes like kind of dry but still sticky, and then you just work from the middle, pressing the new fabric from the middle going outwards just to ensure that there's no like ripples or air bubbles or whatever. And it's just so easy. Rip off this fabric off the top of here. It doesn't take too long, but then it does kind of leave a little bit of foamy stuff behind, as you can see. Like from ripping that, like there's kind of a few like foamy bits left on here. Sometimes they're bigger clumps and I just prefer to get them off. Otherwise you'll be able to see through the fabric that there's like little bumps and raised bits. So I'll take a little bit of time to get this as flat as possible, get this kind of foamy crap off, and then I'll show you how to stick the new fabric on top of here. This one's actually coming off a lot nicer than the other one. It's leaving literally nothing behind apart from that bit there. But on the other one it was a lot more kind of foamy bits left behind. Perfect. That came off way better than the last one did. There's literally only just this one little bit here which I want to get, which I'll get this off. So that is pretty much clean already, and that's a much better kind of surface than the other one was, because you don't want any of this kind of foam stuff or any little kind of contaminants on the surface where you're going to be sticking this stuff. Right, so I'm just about to spray the Trim Fix onto here. I've just made sure it's got no dust and shit on it, but it's fairly clean, no decontaminants on it. Which is what the can suggests. So I've given this a good shake. Now it can be a little bit messy and cause kind of like white streaks and kind of looks like cobwebs, I suppose. Cover it pretty well. It suggests to do it kind of horizontally and vertically as well, just so you get a good coverage. I might be putting too much on, I'm not really sure, but it seemed to work on the other one, so that's just what I'm going to go with now. So I also just made sure that there was a good coverage in kind of these like little dips around the outside, just because I know that it's going to be pulled down tight and I just want to make sure that it's definitely going to be stuck down like this little crevice here. How I've sprayed it on, it might be a little bit too much, I'm not really sure, but it worked. As I said, worked for the last one. So I'm just going to leave that for about a minute now or so, just to let it kind of dry a little bit. It's still sticky, and then we'll be cracking on and sticking the fabric on the top of it. So yeah, I'm literally just going to lay this over it kind of flat and straight on, just kind of like that. Just get that stuck from that corner. Just kind of get it straight with no ripples. Just kind of like that, and then make sure it's straight. And like I said, it's literally so easy. Just push it all straight, make sure it's stuck down properly, so push it with quite a bit of force. Then you just want to stretch out the material so it hasn't got any of these kind of ripples in it whatsoever. I'm just going to go over the top of that ridge there. And there we go, that's pretty much it. Just making sure that the edges and all like the raises in it, they're all nice and stuck, like around the edge here. You just want that little bit of excess around the outside, like after the ridge, just to be stuck down so you can cut it neatly. I don't think it really needs to be too neat, but you will be cutting all this excess off, and this will be behind the door card, so you're not really going to see any of this. It's just mainly about the front, really. But yeah, that looks to be another pretty decent job in my opinion. So I'll just let that set for a little bit, and then we'll cut off the excess and see how we are. So you can see I'm just cutting around the holes here, because that's the way of attaching it back onto the door card. Right then guys and girls, so here is the pieces for the door cards, all wrapped in this kind of felt material which feels really nice. This one I've cut slightly neater than this one. I suppose this was the first one that I cut and this was the second one. So I kind of had a bit of experience of how to cut it better. I was just using the normal Stanley blade and it seems to come out pretty well. So for anyone attempting this, I just follow exactly what I've done. And you will get it right. But then here are all the offcuts. I am thinking of maybe trying to wrap these bits from the door card. It might be a bit difficult to try and like wrap it around to get it inside all the crevices and stuff in that window buttonhole as well. I might do that, I'm not entirely sure just yet. I'm thinking of now adding the little LEDs that I was talking about when I first started this video. So I'm going to drill a few holes in the bottom here. Wire up some of, where are they? Wire up some of these little purple LEDs, see how they look, and go from there. So I think what we're going to do, figure out where to drill, and yeah, go from there really. Right then guys, so this is the back of the door card. You might be able to see a few cock-ups where there's an actual extra hole. Basically, I use the too big drill bit because these are 18mm, and basically I fitted some ST puddle lights which are in my door cards, which are in the car at the moment. They were 18mm in size and they came with this 18mm drill bit, and I thought that this bit of the light, difficult to see, don't know if it's focused, but I thought this bit of the light would sit just on the outside and then use this nut to tighten up and it would secure it. Well, these lights or these LEDs are slightly different and they just pulled straight through the hole, so I was kind of a little bit stupid and didn't like test fit it before I drilled all the holes. So basically I've just got an extra 3 set of holes, but it's not that much of a big deal, you're not going to see them. So basically the LED comes through, I've just tightened up the nut there, and that's what they look like on the outside. So as you can see, I've got an extra hole there, go down, extra hole, and an extra hole. Doesn't really matter, but now these are all in place. Now what I'm going to do is join all these wires up, connect them to a long piece of wire, and all of these wires here will be connected to the interior light on the headliner. That just means when I open the doors, these are going to be powered, and then they won't be powered, say when the door is shut, for example. So yeah, I'm just going to connect all these wires up, make a longer piece of wire for them as well, and then when these are actually fitted and in the car, I'll then feed the wire up the pillar by the front window and the windscreen, feed them up underneath the headliner, and then connect them to the interior light. Right then guys, so what I've managed to do is connect all of the LEDs together, all of the negative wires from the LEDs, bunch them 3 wires together, and same with the positive, so I've got negative and positive all bunched together. I've then used a little connector, I think they're called suede connectors, might be, might not be, but basically you've got like a small bit there, I don't know if you can actually see by the camera, and then this bit just slides on the top of it, and they're quite difficult to slide on, and they won't come off as well. So that causes a good connection. So that's how I've connected the negative to a longer negative wire and the positive to a longer positive wire. And then I've just wrapped a load of masking tape around it just to neaten it up a bit. And if I just use a battery on these two, so positive and negative, you should now be able to see these 3 are lighting up purple. I don't know how well you'll be able to see it. If you can see them coming on and off, but yeah, they're working, so that's one complete. Crack on with the other one now, and then I might call it a day for today. Right then boys, so it's a couple of days later. I think last time you saw I fitted these 3 bottom purple LEDs and I wired them up, and I've given them a good length, it's just hiding under there, good length of extra wire, so then that can be wired up to the interior light on the roof lining, on the headliner, sorry. What I've just done now is I've just drilled 2 holes in the side of this, added a couple more purple LEDs in there, and added a little bit more wire. I've soldered them to a extra length of wire. What I'm going to do with these ones is wire them up to the window switch, so they'll be live with the ignition, so these ones will always be on. And they, if I just turn it upside down, they are just in this recess in here, so I think it'll look kind of cool, and this kind of recess will be kind of slightly lit up and it'll be slightly purple, which I think will look quite cool. Now I think what we're going to actually try and do, we got the soldering iron here, it's been on for a little while. As I said, I've soldered them wires together on that, but I think what we're going to do now is try and attach the retrimmed bits onto here. Now my mate who's already done this, he said that what he done, he fitted them into place. Let me just go around and grab it. So here's the part here, and they just slot in place kind of like that roughly, and basically with these little plastic kind of things, which I used a little blade with to cut the heads off of, he shoved the soldering iron in here and it melted the plastic, and then the kind of excess plastic kind of like melts out and causes a new head to hold this down in place rather than it just lifting up like that. So I think what I'm going to do is just get rid of all these little bits of white bits, which is the spray adhesive for the new material. Get rid of them, neaten it up a little bit, make sure it's in place, and then I'll start trying to melt these little bits here, so then they form kind of a new head, just to hold these bits in place. Right, so I don't know how well you could have seen that, but they're kind of melted and formed like a little head over the top of them. Not the neatest job, but it should work. I'm just going to turn it over in a minute. Feels like they're all hard, done these earlier, so. Now after turning it over and having a little look, I've realised that on 4 little pints, it's actually gone through and melted to the front side, and there was a few little holes here with a bit of excess plastic. Really gutted about that. because now it's not perfect and I know it's there, but I've literally just gone over it with soldering iron again, just to try and melt the plastic and make it a little bit more smoother. But it's just a little bit annoying that that's happened. But now I know for the next one to definitely take a little bit more care, and definitely don't put the soldering iron too deep in the little plastic bits, which will melt through to the front. So they are both in and they look awesome, especially the passenger one, because that went perfectly, nothing wrong with it, and I think that material just looks bloody awesome. Like, it just looks perfect. With these little holes that I'd done, I thought I couldn't leave them how they were, because there was actually a little hole in them, in like 3 of them. I think there was a hole in them there and there, but that one had a big dip. So I found some like tiny little pieces of plastic that I'd cut off, and this one you can hardly see now. I literally just melted with a soldering iron, just went back over it and kind of smoothed out a melted bit of plastic over the top of it. Now they are pretty much flat now. This one is a little bit darker than the actual grey bit itself, so that one is the most visible, but if you like glance at it, you're not going to see it. And this is in bright sunlight as well, so it's going to show up the imperfections even more. So I think when they're in like a kind of dim car, which hopefully hasn't got that much sunlight pointing on this part, I reckon these bits will be hard to see, especially these two, and possibly that one as well, but that one is a little bit more kind of visual than these other bits, but I think they look better than what they did. I was thinking of putting the material, there's a little bit extra just over there, I was thinking of trying to wrap this in the material, but I think it might be a little bit too much and it might look a bit out of place there. But I'm going to have a think and see what I think and see what comes out of it, but I'll keep you updated. But yeah, we're getting there now, so it's only the grab handles, think about what we're doing with this, and also the actual door handle to open the door. And then we need to fit them and wire up all of that wiring underneath there. So I think I might leave it a little bit, have a little break, and then come back to it a little bit later on. Right then guys, so it's the next morning. I did actually decide to do this in that material. I think it looks kind of cool. So we got that and that, which is in that material. Here is the door handle. I painted them. They've got kind of a purple line around the indent and then gloss black. Not the best kind of line, it's a little bit messy, but it's a lot better than my other attempt, which is up there. A bit embarrassing, them ones, just couldn't be fucked with them, and I just chucked them back in because I needed door handles. And also the actual handle to open the door, going to be using them ones as well because they've been painted gloss black. So we got to do, take off that door card and fit this one. Door card is out. Right then, so just a little update. The door is all clipped in properly. The door handle is on properly and working. The 2 little lights in this kind of little pocket here are wired up to a positive and a negative on the window buttons, which work. If I just turn the ignition on, don't know if you can see that. It is quite bright out today, don't know if you can make that out purple. But yeah, they're going to be on with ignition, and then I've just got to figure out what to do with these wires here, which I've just fed up through the top here. They're for the 3 LEDs at the bottom of the door, so I want to wire these up to the interior light on the roof lining. So as soon as I open the door, you get 3 purple lights up on the bottom, which I think will look pretty sick. So basically what we need to do is just fit on this bit, screw on the handle, and then pretty much job's a good one for this one. And then it's just got to wire up these, but I might just leave these wires and then do them after I've fitted both the door cards. that is all complete. So I got the kind of suede material on there and on there. New painted door handle, them painted as well. Got the purple LEDs in there, and then this for the purple LEDs, which I will show you once I've wired them in and when it's dark as well. I'm now going to just do the other one. I won't bother filming it because you've already seen me do this one, so it's just going to be watching exactly the same. Might be a little bit difficult because I don't think I've got a lot of room, because someone has got a lot of turf, like big rolls of grass right next to me. So I would have to see how much room we've got for that. Hopefully I can do it. But I'll give you an update once I've finished doing that as well. Right then boys, so it's all complete. Just finished this side. I know the wiring down there is a little bit messy and I will neaten that up sometime, but I'm just knackered now. Been doing this for quite a while today. So basically that's all complete. If I just unlock the car, and you can see that these purple LEDs are on underneath there. Then with this, they're wired to the ignition. So if I just put the keys in quickly. Can you see that? So you got one on each side in this little kind of pocket bit. I really do love this kind of suede material on here. Handles look really cool and nice and glossy. But yeah guys, that's all the work completed. I'm now knackered. The car is boiling. The temperature on the gauge said 33 degrees. So I'm fucking boiling. But you can't really see the LEDs too well right now because it's lit and in the middle of the day. But I will come back and show you tonight when it's dark and in the video there. So I'll see you maybe like 9-10 o'clock whenever it gets dark tonight. Right then guys, so it's now time is 10 o'clock, so it's got nice and dark. It is really dark outside, so I've had to use my phone torch just to enlighten my face a little bit so you can actually see me. But I've just had a look at the new door cards and the purple lighting. I think they look pretty sick in my opinion. I think maybe the purple lights on the bottom of the door are kind of maybe too much, especially when it's like pitch black. They are very obvious. I'm not sure if I wanted it to be that obvious, but they are kind of cool still. And I do really like the small LEDs in the little pockets at the bottom of the door card. I'll quickly show you now. I'll spin the camera around, just show you what it looks like on the inside, and then I'll get out the car and I'll finish the video showing you how it looks with the purple kind of puddle lights, I guess you might want to call them. But yeah, let's spin the camera around and I'll show you now. Now if you just turn the ignition on, now it kind of like lights up the car quite a bit. I'm not entirely sure about the purple that it lights up on this part just here. Is a little bit annoying. Maybe I can try and do something to get rid of that. But I think they look pretty sick kind of in the little kind of pocket area. Now I'll get out the car and I'll show you what the puddle lights look like as well. Right, so I've just got out the car and I'll just show you as if I'm like going to open the car. So I'll unlock it and then open the door, and as you can see that is quite bright. If I like walk away a bit, you can proper see that. Now it's not too bad and I think it does look kind of cool. I'll actually try the ignition on as well. That does look pretty sick to be fair. If I just go down here for a bit, if I like walk away from the car, I do suppose that looks pretty sick in my opinion. It is pretty cool. Let's see what the other one looks like as well if I open both doors. Now this won't be to everyone's taste, but I do kind of like it, and it's all about what I want from the car really. As I said, it is quite bright. Maybe 2 LEDs would have done better. So yeah, let's just turn the ignition off. Shut that door. There we go. Come around here. Shut that one. Lock the car. There we go. So yeah boys, you can't really see me. I'm just walking back to the house. It is pitch black outside. But yeah, I'm going to leave the video there. Hope you like it. Don't forget to like the video, follow me on Insta, and I'll catch you in the next one. See you later boys.